I have been sitting in the rain, tea ceremony style, for 2 hours straight. And now I'm sitting Indian style, and now I'm realizing how asleep my legs have been. And oh my gosh, the fire and the celestial pins and needles. I'm really high right now, and I'm finishing off some leftover beer. There's no such thing as leftover beer. You always finish it the next day. And, bro, I'm just thinking about life. And honestly, you know, there's a lot of division in the world today, man, you know? Sports teams, religion, politics, what the best weapon for thief is, to main and offhand. There's so much division around the world. But, you know, I think it's really good to think about, like, those great equalizers, you know? You know, like, the way someone taught me about empathy, actually, was this. This is going to sound really weird. YouTube might ban me for this because it's the internet today. I don't know. But hear me out. I was taught to humanize everything. Even to the point of anthropomorphizing things. This tree outside my tent, this beautiful verdant viridian and emerald tree with splattering specks of browns and golds across its multitudinous myriad array of branches. Beautiful. You know, sometimes you look at a plant, and I think we're all plant blind. Plant blindness is a real thing. Look that up. I'll take an hour talking about that. I'm not going to get into that right now. Pause this video. Look up plant blindness. 90% of people who live in cities look at plants and don't recognize that they're looking at a plant. Their brain doesn't process that it's a plant. They see it and they're like, yep, that's a freaking tree, all right. But they never actually stop and think about it. Stop and smell the roses. Bro, take 5 freaking goddamn minutes from your stupid ass busy fucking day and look at a rose. I think you're so important. Look at a frickin' plant. They're so truly beautiful. You look at the grass. It is also amazing and beautiful. The amount of seeds that a single blade is able to produce. We look at grass and it's like, yep, that's grass. That's a green thing on the ground that we use to decorate parts of our houses and our suburbs. That's grass. We all know what freaking grass is. No, you don't. Have you ever just watched grass grow day after day? Those seed stalks elongating, spreading outward as they get heavy leaning away from where their roots initially took hold, to drop more seeds next to themselves, to aerate the soil with their roots so that the next grass that is to come can continue to grow ever more beautiful and higher. Grass, I think when people think about grass, they think about like a king of the hill manicured lawn that looks real good. It's all clean shaven, crew cut, military style. Yeah, man, you edged that lawn real good, man. I'm sorry, my mind became a 5-year-old for a second when I said that. I'm sorry. I think people actually do edge with their lawn, though. You know what I'm saying? Freaking. I'm looking at crazy wild ass grass in my backyard. It hasn't been cut for like 2 or 3 months right now, you know? And it's beautiful. There's these, you know, twigs and stalks now that are, you know, like 10 inches long before the blade of grass starts. And those blades of grass are so mighty and powerful. So much longer than the atypical manicured lawn. And those are the blades of grass that I feed my cats. Because, you know, my cats, they like different kinds of grass. You know, like Rudy, he likes chomping and crunching on it, on the base parts, like their celery. He likes that. He likes crunching with his back teeth on those parts of the grass. Rosa likes the really soft, like end trimmed green bits of the romaine lettuce. You know, Jack doesn't care about grass at all. Jack just wants meat and fish, because he's a savage freaking beast. I'm drunk. I don't care. I don't even care. We're just gonna talk about life. This is a literal, you know, stream of consciousness right now, and we're gonna continue this. I love just looking at the natural world. Honestly, I feel like the natural world teaches us things every day, and we all ignore it. For real. There's this like famous quote in Korea. There's this businesswoman who is like, okay, in America, we have like all the Forbes top whatever of the year, best business people that figured it out and just put their nose to the grindstone and became badasses. There's this like mega popular, everyone knows her, businesswoman in Korea, in South Korea. And in an interview one time, she was just like talking about cats. And people were asking her like, yo, you're one of the wealthiest, most continuously successful businesswomen in all of South Korea. What is your motto? You know, how did you accomplish this? And she's like, oh, I took advice from my cats. You see, cats know when to be lazy. Cats just know when to say, I'm done right now. I'm going to go to sleep. They have a respectable amount of laziness, but they also know how to conserve their energy and use it for what is necessary. And so the reason I became what I am is because I just emulated my cats. She took advice from nature. You know what I'm saying? That used to be like the way of things, man. You know, like the old school freaking samurai. You know, like even back then, they admired the dragonfly. The dragonfly was like an effigy in a visage, you know, that was put into the Menuki and the Suba. You know, like the blade comes out from the circular guard. That's the Suba. Like the dragonfly was like, for a long time, that was like the number one symbol that people wanted on their decorative family clan katanas. Even back then, those people knew. And did you know the dragonfly is the best hunter on the planet? Of every creature in the world, I've seen, like, I've gone through these like charts where they like rank hunters based on how good they are. Like, case in point, a wolf is like a C minus at hunting. You wouldn't think that, right? A wolf is a C minus at hunting, at using its physical body to track down, to subdue, to kill, and to eat its food to survive. The average wolf is a C minus. They suck at. They're bad at it. Do you want to know why wolves succeed? Social interaction. Because, like the giant cats of the savannah and the Sahara, they know how to team up and form social bonds. Or even like African hunting dogs, like hyenas, they know how to socially group up on larger prey so that they can all eat. Wolves fall into that same category. And I would say that's one of the reasons I love wolves, is because even though they're a wild animal, they rely and depend on each other. And then they grow to not just tolerate, but then they adapt each other's personalities and vocal patterns and physical behaviors and play behaviors. Beautiful creature, the wolf. Honestly, one of the most beautiful genus and family hierarchies on the face of the planet is every wolf. I love wolves. That's why I love ducks. Also, ducks are also a very social creature, but we're getting on a tangent. Anyway, there's lots of creatures that are way higher ranking at hunting. And the dragonfly has been known since the time of the samurai that it is the best hunter on the planet. It flies around with superior quad-winged maneuverability. It is able to bend and contort its long carapace hardened body to utilize minimal amounts of energy as it glides and flits about with zero effort. It uses almost 0 calories to hover. It can hover as long as it wants. It's like standing. You know, like when you're standing, you're a human being. You're standing somewhere, okay? That's what a dragonfly can do. Hovering, being like gravity, you're nothing. My body mass is so little compared to the size of my wings, and I can just be like, I'm here, above the ground, looking with eyes similar to that of a sludge-eating fly, a disgusting creature. I don't like flies that much, but I recognize their importance. But the dragonfly is a savage badass. When it spots its prey, it has more hunting efficiency than a bat. Bats are also one of the coolest creatures in the world. They just scream into the darkness and can locate thousands of tiny little bugs and just use reflexive instinct to maneuver themselves through the air, flying around and just be like, hum, hum. They're freaking flying Pac-Mans that go around in the dark and scream their way into vision. Bats are actually pretty cool. I'm just saying. But everyone knew the dragonfly. That thing is honestly one of the most perfect creatures of all time. And I've been fortunate enough in the past to photograph and record some very beautiful dragonflies, actually. My favorite one was in low, dim lighting. It appeared a deep oceanic cerulean and cyan, but dead to the perspective it was onyx black. And when the light poked through those few leaves in that bush, you could see all of these tourmalines and turquoises glinting, shining, scintillatingly across its carapace. Oh my gosh. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen in my life. I still think about it. That something so beautiful could simply occur in nature, from a burning fission star shining its light from so far away in the core of our solar system, out here at that one particular moment when all those leaves had grown just to that right point, that this blade of grass had grown so long that it fell and drooped and waved at the weight of this dragonfly that had just landed upon it. And then I snapped those 5 pictures. Still think about those. Because although I think some people might look at one and be like, oh, that's a dragonfly, that's cool. When I see them, I just see one of the most beautiful, savage, godlike beasts of all creation. Able to survive and tolerate all weather and temperature conditions and go where it needs to go. The dragonfly has survived the uncountable epochs and eras and aeons of unceaseless evolution of all species, and yet the dragonfly, since time immemorial, when the Stegosaurus and the Brontosaurus walked the earth, the dragonfly said, I already got this figured out. I'm already perfect. I have never changed. I am still the same. I am still the best. And here I am. Magnificent. Utterly splendiferous and transcendental. The dragonfly. It doesn't consider opposition. It sees its target and only knows how to succeed at the mission. And it has never changed in its ways. Understandably, the samurai praised and lauded, even to a degree, perhaps even worshipped such a creature. The dragonfly represents the single-minded, deterministic fixation and focus to achieve that which is necessary and think about nothing else. Awesome. Anyway, thanks for listening. Appreciate your time. Hope you all have a good one. Take the time to look at the world around you. There is ceaseless beauty at all times. But we follow our conditioning to stare at the ugliest things and stay angry about them every day. When an infinitesimal abyss of cosmic glory and wonder unfolds new every day. And that is not good for anybody. God bless. I'm out. Later.